Okay. As I was saying earlier, I'm a patterns guy, and usually when the market is going down for a few days, right, you're gonna think to yourself, "Hey, it cannot go down every day," so you're gonna buy in, right? There's always gonna be those people. Like if when you're at the casino, right, you're at the roulette table, and you see they show you the history, and it goes, you see on there that it's like it went black 5 times in a row, and you're gonna think to yourself, "Hey, 5 times in a row black. That means red is about to come due, right?" And then so you bet on red, and it hits black, and then so it's black 6 times in a row. But then on the seventh time, it goes red. So why do I bring that up? It's because I'm pretty sure if you guys were following the stock market this morning, or throughout most of the day, it was trading up, right? Just a little bit, maybe like six or so 100 points. And then we get in a really, really big trade war now with China. And, Trump doubles down and the market spirals. And if you have been listening to me for quite a while, I've said it gajillion times that the thing about Trump, okay, I don't know why he's been president before and we've seen how he deals, okay? I don't know why people have not learned this about Trump yet, okay? It's pretty simple. You cannot back him into a corner. Okay, I've said this a billion times. And I'm just some guy on the internet, okay? I'm not even an economist, or I'm not even like a business guy, or whatever, right? Or an expert. I know from observing Trump that you cannot back him into a corner. When you back him into a corner, without fail, every single time, he will double down, no matter what. I don't know why. Why is it so hard for these people to understand TP, like Mr. Donald Trump? If you back him into a corner, he will double down, no matter what. He's done it time and time again. So, China goes and they put some tariffs on America. Trump doubles down, and the market crashes. The market crashes. And, it doesn't really matter in the, I guess, in the long run, because stock prices only matter when you buy them and when you sell them. So in the meantime, I guess we're in the roller coaster, because hey, unless you're close to retirement, then you're you're in a different scenario. But I don't know. I feel like I'm still young, so we'll see how it goes. Um, how else is your day going so far? And I guess I can elaborate more, because I don't know why. Also, this is another thing the media seems to leave out, right? Uh, if you've been following it, basically Trump put tariffs across the board on all the countries, right? And for some reason, the media has been focusing on this a little bit, right? Where they're like, "Oh, he put tariffs on islands that don't have anybody on them, with penguins, or people that places that don't have anything, right? They don't trade with America at all. They get slapped with tariffs." If you want, I can explain to you why he did this, okay? We saw this happen during the COVID times, when the first time we got into a trade war, right, with China during COVID times. If you guys remember what happened during COVID times, how what they did, and I have friends that have companies, and this is what they did too, is they just get their stuff from China and have it shipped to Mexico, and then say it comes in from Mexico, and since we have that NAFTA deal, it goes in trade tariff free. That's literally what they did. I remember I had a friend, and during COVID times, everyone needed the PPE stuff, the gloves and face masks and stuff. So my friend, and remember, there was like a shortage, and they just couldn't get it together. So he wanted to get a big supply like basically get an operation going to make he wanted to make gloves. And so they're like, okay, we want to make gloves, but like I've said many times also on this channel, we don't make anything in America. So he needed to get the gloves in, right? But he also didn't want to pay the tariffs back in COVID times. So what he wanted to do was actually get the gloves made from a manufacturer in Thailand and have them ship it to a warehouse in Mexico, and then get it on a train in Mexico and train it into the States. That was the plan. He got investors together, and I think the whole thing fell apart or whatever because I only saw him a few times during COVID times, but I just remember that was the general plan that he told me. And and you're wondering why gloves from Thailand. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a big latex operation in Thailand. They actually make most of the condoms. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a condom king, right? He's the king of condoms, and he lives in Thailand. And so, think about it, he's pretty smart, right? This guy's the king of latex, basically, and he's in Thailand. And my buddy wanted to get gloves made, and gloves are made of latex. Technically, you could refit those condom machines, uh, to make gloves. And then that was the plan. Because, you remember during COVID times, a box of latex gloves or whatever were selling for mucho, you know? So that was the plan that he told me. And this was like early on. Very smart guy. Uh, like literally the minute the lockdowns started happening, that was literally the first plans that he came up with. Because I don't know if you guys know, during COVID time, there was a lot of money that moved around, and a lot of people just sitting in their houses. Hello, hello, Pablo. A lot of people sitting around in their house just scheming of different ways to make money, and that was his scheme. Anyways, back to what I was talking about earlier. The reason why Trump put tariffs across the board is to stop this loophole. Because if he just did it on a few countries, you already know what was going to happen. A lot of people were going to, let's just take that Penguin Island land country, whatever that people keep talking about. What they would have done is they would have, made their stuff in China and have it flown over, boated over into that Penguin Island, and then get the stamps, you know, and then say it's from that country, and then avoid the tariffs. That's why he did it across the board to try to get ahead of that loophole. Just doing it in advance instead of doing it the other way, where you do tariffs here, tariffs there, and then they move and do the Penguin Island. Now this island from this island Penguin Island is now making everything to go. Hey, Penguin Island, you cannot make all this stuff. What's going on over there? And then look into the Penguin Island and see that they're just a way station. Ships are just like flying and then touching the water with stamps in their hands. The water itself is actually a big stamp. There's a stamping pad, and the planes don't even land. They just fly, and you get really good pilots, and they just fly, and then they touch, and there's a stamp, and it just says the whole. It just says that everything on the ship is made from Penguin Island. It's just like a face of a penguin on there. You just, better yet, the planes don't even need to land. On Penguin Island, there's a guy with a anti-air flak gun, right? But the flak gun, instead of filled with shrapnel, right? I don't know if you guys know. Maybe I'm outdated, but back in the day, that's how they used to shoot down planes, with a flak gun. And the flak gun, what it is, it's not, you're not actually trying to aim at the plane. You're trying to get your shells to get close to the plane as possible, but what it does is it shoots a shell into the air, and the the shell blows up in the air and it shoots shrapnel out, and it hits the planes and the planes go down. Right. Anyways, they get a flak gun, fill it with paint. It stamps on there with penguin faces on there, and then as the planes are flying by, the flak gun is just going kutu 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 kutu, and then everything gets stamped with "Made in Penguin Island" on there. From it just says everything inside the plane is made from Penguin Island, and then the plane just keeps on flying. Right. So basically, they were just trying to get ahead of that. So I don't know. As I keep saying, right? I don't know why people don't know how to deal with Trump already. Literally, you cannot back him into the corner. I've said it a gajillion times. You have to give him a way out. The way out? Who knows? There's a rumor going around that they're gonna have the Mar-a-Lago Accords, where all the leaders of the worlds, oh no, all the leaders in the world fly to Mar-a-Lago. They're gonna do one of those backdoor super round table kind of things, and they're gonna make deals. They're gonna make the deals, baby. And yeah, that's the rumor, that they're gonna have some kind of Mar-a-Lago Accords where everyone's just gonna go to Mar-a-Lago. Genius of Trump, by the way, have it there so he could charge them per the room. You think the room is comped? No. He's gonna nickel and dime them all to death. Imagine, the world leaders come over, right? And they have to stay at Mar-a-Lago. They have to. He's not going to White House. Melania thinks that place is a dump. He'll go to Mar-a-Lago and he's gonna charge them for room service. You think it's comped? No. Imagine if you're the Xi Jinping, right, and you're used to people comping everything, right? He goes to Mar-a-Lago. Trump, no, not only he doesn't comp him on the products that, even the, like the funniest part is like Xi Jinping must feel so weird when he travels to other places, right? And it says made in China, right? And he has to buy it, like it's like he buys it back. Like he goes over there, right? And he's in the Mar-a-Lago hotel, and there's like the salt, the soaps and shampoos and whatnot, right? And the towels. Oh, okay, no, easier way, because sometimes they source the shampoos and soaps locally, the towels. So Xi Jinping stays at Mar-a-Lago, right? He's at the Mar-a-Lago Accords with all the other world leaders. He gets into his hotel room, his suite, right? He's got a beautiful suite with, I don't know, gold plated everything, right? And he walks through, and it's been a long flight, right? 14 hours. I believe it's 14 hours. It is 14 hours. I've been to China before. What am I saying? It's 14 hours to get to America, right? Long flight. Oh, he's tired. Stretches out. Gets into his suite room. What's the one thing you want to do after you're on a long flight? You want to take a shower. He's a person too, okay? Don't just think they're like robots. They're a person. You want to take a shower. He takes a shower. He gets out. He wraps himself in a towel. The white, white fluffy towel. It feels nice. He looks at the towel. It says "Made in China," right? He goes, "Yeah, that's right. I own this place." When it's time to go, he gets a bill. The bill says towel. Trump charges him for every little thing. Not only he charges him for the towel, he charges him triple, to make up for all the other towels that he lost. And he's like, what the hell? That's right. Ugh. So that's the rumor. But like I said before, I don't know why no one talks about why he did tariffs across the board. That is why. It's to get ahead of the loophole. Because I know about the loophole, and like I said, I'm just some guy in my car. Like literally, It's the first thing I thought about, and I'm pretty sure you thought of it too, because it's not a secret. It's literally what they do. If you slap tariffs on a country, what they will do is they'll just find another country and they'll just way station all the stuff from that country to the other country and send it to America. Like, it's common sense, guys. Okay, so that's that. What else is going on in the world? Let's not have the Trump talk all day. What else can we talk about? Uh, oh, you know what was I found interesting today? My wife told me about this. I didn't know about it, but apparently, what's been growing on the other social media platform is toxic, skinny toxic. And I think it's actually pretty funny because in a way it's actually the girl version of David Goggins. You know Goggins, he's kind of like the guy that makes you feel like a lazy piece of crap for not doing what you're supposed to be doing, taking care of yourself. So yeah, lately my wife found that. She found skinny toxic stuff, and it's basically girls on the internet telling other girls they're lazy pieces of crap. Get to work. And I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. Like literally when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, "Hmm, you found David Goggins, but girl version or girl versions." I guess that's it for with me. That's all that's going on with me. Uh, like I said, I don't know. You guys can follow that part. Other part, I'm distant. I'm not. I don't have any stock. So realistically, the market going up and down doesn't affect me at all. I got out of the stock game many years ago because I don't like the fact that any random piece of news. This is what bothered me. Okay, this is why I got it out of stocks. Uh, there's a company called Blizzard Entertainment. If you guys don't know, they make video games, some of the biggest video games, like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, all these other fantastic games. Well, they were really good. I feel like they've lost their step a little bit. Ever since they merged with Activision, I guess they just don't have the same passion that they had before. I don't know. Maybe because they're too big now and they've lost that small creative drive. Who knows? But anyways, how I got out of stocks and why I'm like this is bullshit. Okay. So I had some Blizzard stock a long time ago. I want to say around the time Diablo 3 came out. Diablo 3, there was a big gap between Diablo 2. If you're from my generation, Diablo 2 was the shizzy but dizzy game. Like everyone played it. All my friends played it. That was the game, right? Diablo 2. I played Diablo 1 and 2. Anyways, Diablo 3 comes out and it didn't do very like the game itself wasn't very good, but it sold a buttload of units, right? It broke records when it came out because everyone, especially in my generation, was thinking Diablo 2. I love Diablo 2. I have a job now. I have disposable income. Diablo 3, let's do it because Diablo 2, when Diablo 2 came out, I was in school, high school, like I was in middle school, high school, somewhere around there, right? So I didn't get to fully play it with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? Now that you're an adult, if you want to devote the time to do that, you can. So Diablo 3 comes out, and it broke a lot of records, right? And I'm thinking, and I got the stock. I bought Diablo Blizzard stock way in advance because I'm plugged into the gaming world. I know what's up. So I bought the stock way in advance. Diablo 3 comes out, breaks all kinds of records in terms of sales, generates tons and tons of money, right? What does the Blizzard stock do? You would imagine that a game that's breaking tons and tons of records will make the stock go up. What does it do instead? It goes down. So then I was like, this is where it makes zero sense. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm getting out of the stock game because there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It just goes up and down, whatever it feels like. So that was that. And then from that point, I sold all my stocks, and I never put any more money into any of the stocks because literally it would go up and down on a whim, and you would never know what is what. Because literally, sometimes they're just pumping it up for it to fall down. No different than a meme coin. That's it.